Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Welcome to Bima's Crafty Corner. I am Bima, better known as Els, and this is part 2 of the beginner-friendly album journal. So if you have not done part 1, go back and do that. And then if you've done part 1, let's get on to part 2, shall we? So in part 1, we built the base. We cut our pieces, built our base, and built a signature to put in it. We built a template in order to be able to poke our holes. We poked our holes and we are ready to now do some decorating. I'm not going to put the signature in for a little bit. We're going to decorate first. We also added our tie to this, which is way longer than it needs to be, but we'll cut that down. So today we're going to be doing some decorating. We have some leftover from our poster board that we can use for some pockets and things if we want. And we have some materials that we can decorate with. And I will get all of that out, including the glue, because I don't think, and the ink, and my dauber and scissors. And I think that's pretty much all we need. So I will be back. We're going to do some decorating. I'm going to give you the mat sizes, and we'll get those all glued in. Okay? I'll be right back. Okay, so for our mats, they are 7 3/4 by 4 3/4, and we're going to need 12 of them. So just start by trimming down your paper to the right size. If you're using a digital, get rid of the white. Okay, and I'm going to use this, so I'm going to, make sure that I cut this out. Part off, and then make sure if you're using directional paper that you're aware of what direction it's going. Okay, so 7 3/4 by 4 3/4, and that's going to be the size you want. You need 12 of those. So go ahead and get all of those cut out. And then, round the corners, that's what you're doing. And then we'll go ahead and get these organized in the way we want, and we'll get them glued in to our book. Okay? So we'll get started with these, and when we come back, don't forget to ink. When we come back, we will, I say that because I always forget to ink. We'll actually get the journal sewn in. And move on to, doing a little bit of decorating. Okay? So I'll be right back. All right, now, if you want to add something to your spine, you'll need a piece that is 1 3/4 by 7 3/4, and that can go right there on your spine, and then you can just repop your holes. It's entirely up to you. But I do have all my pieces. I need to decide what I want to have on my cover. I think I like this one. So all I'm going to do is glue these down. I'm not putting any flips or anything in this because it is a beginner's piece and it's very small. So no flips or flaps or anything. If you want to see how to put those in, then I suggest that you go and look at my playlist for album journals, and there's a couple of them in there now at this point. So that's my front. This is going to be my cover. Let me grab my file because I have the eruptions here and I want to flatten those out. Well, they don't have to be perfect, but do like them flatter. So we'll go ahead and put some glue here. Put this on there. And then what do I want on the back? I'm going to put this on the back. All right, just a little bit of glue here. And then I'm going to go ahead and just cover all of the other pages. And when I come back, we will stitch in our single signature. And maybe do a little decorating, okay? So, go get your pages put in. And then when we come back, we'll take a look at the signature. Be right back. All right, so I've glued in all of my pages. And I have this, remember we added that piece to the back? And so we're gonna want to, you can either put it on after you stitch it in which case you wouldn't see the stitching, or you can put it on before, in which case you will see the stitching. If you put it on before and you're gonna see the stitching, then you need to reopen the holes. Since we already have our guide, it's pretty easy to do. Boop, 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 boop. Okay? All right, so now we're going to get out whatever thread we're going to be using. I do recommend waxed linen, but you can certainly use embroidery floss. I guess you could use yarn if you wanted to, but we're going to get that out. We're going to get out a needle, baker's twine, and we are going to bring in our signature, and I'm going to show you we're going to get that stitched in, okay? I'll be back in just a moment. So now we're going to take our waxed linen thread and we're going to put that on a needle. I recommend an embroidery needle, not too sharp. A nice dull one works pretty good. And then we're going to bring in our pages. We're going to go through the center. This is a 5-hole pamphlet. Now, a lot of people will say, you know, 3 holes just fine. Yeah, it is, if you want it to fall apart. If it has any kind of weight to it, 3-hole is not going to work. Hold this, and then it doesn't matter if you go up or down, you're just going to go to the next hole, and you're going to go through the hole, and through your signature. Okay? And then we're going to come to this end, and we're going to go down through the hole, and down through the cover. And then we're going to go back into the hole here. Okay. So back into that, and back through the journal to our signature, and back up through. And we're going to repeat that process. So bring this piece down, we're going to go back through the center. Down. So you're basically stitching in a figure 8. Okay? And then we're going to create a figure 8 at the top. So, through this hole. Down through this one, coming back up through this one, okay, and And then we're going to come down here and we're going to go under this stitch. All right. And the reason we're doing that is so that we can pull these two stitches against each other and not tear the paper, okay? Then we're going to tie our square knot, so right over left, left over right, and then we're going to trim these. Now you can make them as long or as short as you want. If you want them to hang out of the book, by all means make them longer. If you want them shorter because you don't want them hanging out of the book, then cut them short. That is entirely up to you. That is it. You can remove the clamps. And your signature is now sewn into your little journal. All right? So that is that part. Now, when we come back, we're going to be doing some decorating. Okay, so we're going to be talking about using some, some pre-made pockets and making some pockets of our own and so on and so forth. And we're going to get this little sucker put together. So until then, if I have not offended you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notifications so that you can come back and maybe I can take another shot at trying to offend you. I'm kidding, but I do fussy cut with big scissors. Let's see, what else? If you would like information on free classes, when my videos are, when my lives are, all that kind of things, if I'm traveling, those things, you can get that information. You can also join my Facebook group. You can support the channel through Patreon or pick up some free digitals from my Ko-Fi. All the links are in the description box below. Until I see you again, stay well, my friends. Bye-bye.